Who we become doesn't always flow from who we once were. Who we become can be determined by who we one day wish to be, how we think, what we dream. Who we become almost always depends on an empathy from others, the people around us and our mentors, those who inspire us to strive for excellence. And when we doubt, are there to support us. Because in the end, who we become is merely the sum of the chances that we take, in the hope that we will be stronger than we think we are, so that we can make a difference. Discover a place where who you become transcends even your own expectations, where we stand together and move forward together.
Good evening, goeienaand, sanbonani, molweni, dumelang. My name is Boykutu Johnson from the Center for Student Recruitment and Career Advice. We are extremely excited that you are tuning into this event with us this evening. Congratulations on your conditional acceptance to Stellenbosch University. We are excited that you are considering us as your possible academic home. It will be ignorant of us not to reference the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the influence it has had to life as we once knew it to be. 18 months down the line, we could not have imagined how much our resilience would be tested. We know that this was supposed to be your highlight year, your year of last and closing of a chapter in your schooling career. This was supposed to be the year you could get another chance on missed opportunities of 2020. Things may not have turned out exactly like you planned, but we know that this will be a year that you will never forget. You have acquired skills that few ever will, skills that will make you stronger and rise higher. During this session, we will have the opportunity to hear from our Rector and Vice-Chancellor, get some answers to the burning questions, what's next? We will also hear from our current students and alumni why Stellenbosch University is a good choice. Stellenbosch University is a multilingual university, which means you may hear speakers using Afrikaans. They will repeat the information in English and or subtitles will be used. Allow me to introduce our Rector and Vice-Chancellor, Prof. Wim de Villiers. Prof. Wim de Villiers has been our Rector and Vice-Chancellor since 2015, when he joined his alma mater again after 20 years abroad. After graduating from Stellenbosch University with an MB-CHB, which is a degree in surgery and medicine, he went to Oxford University for his PhD and then to America, where he studied at Harvard and held several senior positions at the University of Kentucky, including head of gastroenterology and administrative head of the Good Samaritan Hospital. He was included in the publication Best Doctors in America. He was appointed Dean of Health Sciences at the University of Cape Town in July 2013 and returned to South Africa before joining Stellenbosch University in his current position. On the national stage, he serves as Vice Chair of University South Africa and Chair of Higher Health, and on the international stage as Council Member of the Association of Commonwealth Universities.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Marty's 101. I'm so glad that you've tuned in, and I look forward to welcoming you to Stellenbosch University next year. This is the second year that we've held this event online. And although it would have been great to meet in person, the content of this video will provide you with a wealth of information about what you can expect at Stellenbosch University. This format also gives us the opportunity to reach you wherever you are in the world. And because our university attracts students from all over South Africa and the rest of the world, it is our vision to be an institution that is globally recognized as excellent, inclusive and innovative, where we advance knowledge in service of society, but with our footing firmly in Africa. This is a unique time to be embarking on the next stage of your life's adventure. COVID-19 has disrupted our lives, but in 2021, we put all the necessary structures in place so that students at our university could return to campuses safely to experience life at Stellenbosch. And we plan to do the same in 2022, government rules permitting, of course. But why should you choose Stellenbosch? I'll give you a few reasons. 1, you'd be joining a university that last year broke our own record for the most qualifications ever awarded to graduates. This is because of dedicated staff and because we created an environment where students can thrive. 2, we continue to make waves internationally. Recently, Times Higher Education, one of the most prominent ranking agencies in the world, moved us higher up on their list, and we're firmly in the top 1% of universities globally. 3, our degrees are globally recognized and locally relevant. 4, this makes our graduates highly employable. 5, our academic staff produce among the most research outputs of all universities in the country. 6, we're serious about improving society, so we invest in research on climate change, machine learning, computational thinking, social justice issues, and a number of other urgent matters. 7, 9 out of every 10 first years who start at Matric progress to their second year. And lastly, 88% of students pass the modules they enroll for as part of their degree. The last 2 statistics should calm the nerves of parents who fear that the many social activities Stellenbosch also offers will take precedence over hitting the books. But that being said, the transition between high school and university is still quite an adjustment. Students who make it to university probably never even think about failing a subject in high school. But the reality at university is different. We refer to this as minding the gap. But you'll have support. You have to remember this. We don't want you to fail. Professors might seem intimidating at first, but they're not out to get you. They want you to succeed. And that's why we provide guidance and a host of other support services. Now, attending university is about so much more than getting a degree, and that's why we'll do everything in our power to have students on campus. We believe a lot of the value of a university education comes from what happens outside the classroom. This is also where students transform. And Stellenbosch University is unique in this regard. We have a variety of student societies you can join, many sporting and cultural activities to participate in, and programs to develop leadership skills. You'll also be entering a multilingual institution where we can learn from each other. When I started, I referred to Stellenbosch University's global status, and you'll be able to experience that firsthand. Our many international partnerships provide opportunities to study abroad. We also award hundreds of travel bursaries for semester exchange programs, summer schools, or international short course programs overseas. But let me stop there because I could go on and on. For now, let me just congratulate you again on gaining provisional acceptance. And if you need more information, contact us. Our staff is there to help. I've said this in the past, but it's still true. We want you to say, I came to Stellenbosch University for a degree, but I left with an education. All of the best with the exams ahead. You're in the final stretch, so keep your eye on the prize, so that you can come to Stellenbosch, of course.
Thank you so much, Prof. de Villiers. Stellenbosch truly offers opportunities close to none, is a world-class teaching and learning environment in a student town surrounded by oak trees, bicycles, and majestic mountains. How I love those mountains. We know that many students have not had the opportunity to experience or see campus, so allow us to entice you.
This is Matiland, the home of Stellenbosch University. Here, you will receive a world-class education and have the time of your life. There is space for 7,500 students in a myriad of different residence options on the main campus, while a further 1,000 students are housed in 5 residences on Tygerberg campus. Our students are those who are curious to know, those who want to change the world and their own lives for the better. The diverse student community is a vibrant testimony to a future-driven campus which caters for the needs of all students. The Nielsen Student Center is a popular get-together spot right at the heart of campus. At Stellenbosch University, you are connected to the world through excellent technology. Across campus, there are 6 faculty-specific computer user areas to complement our state-of-the-art institution. Each faculty offers their students access to a variety of disciplines and the opportunity to be exposed to the finer things in life. Our beautiful campus has paved walkways winding between campus buildings dating from different eras. Here you have free access to the one-of-a-kind beauty of Stellenbosch town and its breathtaking natural surroundings. The superb sport facilities nurture some of the country's best athletes and afford every other active student the chance to keep fit and healthy. Make Stellenbosch University part of your journey today. Fall in love with life. Fall in love with Matiland.
Our students may arrive to campus in a car, but soon join in the trend of choosing from 3 popular modes of transport: the bicycle, the skateboard, or the old faithful, the feet. Getting around on campus is easy and everything is within relative walking distance. Next up, I would like to introduce to you my colleague, Miss Angelique Dreyer, also an advisor at the center. She will be leading a panel of experts whom she will introduce.
Good evening, I'm Angelique Dreyer, and with me is Mr. Ashman Daniels, who is the Deputy Registrar at Stellenbosch campus, and he is responsible for student administration. He has a passion for technology and finding new ways to use it to improve service delivery for our students and other stakeholders. Alongside him is Philip, who is a 4th-year BAc LLB student and also currently serving as the Vice Chairperson of the SRC and an avid Liverpool supporter. We also have Sinetemba next to him, who is a postgraduate law student. She is also a private law tutor in the Department of Private Law, and she is the Alma Mater's cluster convener, where she was recently appointed as the cluster executive. And lastly, Bongiwe Mdingi, who is an advisor at the Center for Student Recruitment and Career Advice since 2016, and she has a passion for making sure that today's youth becomes tomorrow's leaders. All right, so this evening we are going to discuss a few questions and answers that prospective students are keen to know more about. So first up, we'll tackle the topic around residence placement. Ashmond, can you please tell us more about the process around residence placement, specifically touching on students who have already received offers and those who are still waiting?
Thank you, Angelique, for the question. So yes, the university annually receives just over 10,000 applications for residences. And unfortunately, we have limited space. If I'm not mistaken, the institution has about 2,000 spaces, 1,000 for men and then obviously 1,000 for females. Our space is obviously then limited, so we work according to a residence placement policy as such. And for us, it's very important then also to give preference to certain categories. We have the academic category, we have the sports category, etc. So for us, we then take all of these applications and we will then start processing, the applications. Our due date for the applications is the beginning of October. So we'll start processing all of those applications during the month of October, and thereafter applicants will receive a 30-day calendar notice period as such to either accept that particular offer. There is, however, an amount that needs to be paid. So the amount that applicants need to pay to secure this space is 7,700 Rand. And that amount must be paid within that specific time period, which is 30 calendar days. Thereafter, the placement as such will actually expire, and then we will start looking at our waiting list and start offering the candidates on the waiting list a space in our residences. I think what is very important also for applicants to note is that the space is so limited that they need to also take into consideration other alternative accommodation. So it's important for them not to just rely on the institutional resources, but also look into private accommodation as well. We have a list of just over 4,000 accredited private accommodation that is also available on our website. If applicants obviously want any additional information, they can access all of this information on our website. All of the information is available on the matric.com website.
Thank you, Ashmond. I just want to emphasize 3 points that Ashmond just discussed with us, which is that the resident placement process will be finalized during October, and also that if you do receive placement, you can expect to pay an acceptance fee unless you are a NSFAS applicant. Also, if you do not receive residence placement, remember that you can register on the waiting list, and also there are plenty of private accommodation options as well. All right, Sinatemba, we both know that whether students live on campus or commute daily, they will form part of the cluster community. But what is the aim of the cluster structures?
Thank you, Angelique. So with students who are placed in residence spaces, they find it a lot easier to bond together and to form that sense of community. Those who are not placed in residence spaces tend to struggle with that concept. And the purpose of cluster then is to try and bridge that gap to form more of this community bond. Students who are placed in residence spaces, those will be run by the university itself. The university will place students in those spaces. Unfortunately, due to numbers and space, not all students will be placed in those residence spaces and can actually have the option of looking into private accommodation. In that sense, they'll be placed in what is called private student accommodation, referred to as PSOs. Those PSOs are still part of the cluster community, whether you're placed in residence or if you're placed in a private accommodation, whether you commute into Stellenbosch or live within the area, you are still part of that cluster community.
All right, there you have it. As a prospective student, you can expect to be placed in a PSO, which aims to create a greater sense of community. Bongiwe, we know that finance is still one of the barriers that students face when entering higher education. Are there still any bursaries that they can apply for?
Okay, thank you, Angie. Most of the bursaries have already closed. Then students can qualify at the end of this year. We can use your grade 12 final results to get a merit bursary. Then students can qualify for up to 40% of their fees. So merit bursary is for students whose average is 90%. So we're talking here 7 distinctions, what I call a full house. So again, if you are a financially needy and academically deserving student, you can also apply for NSFAS. So NSFAS is National Student Financial Aid Scheme. So you can apply until the 30th of November. So the applications are open. So please, no excuses. I hope you've applied already. Then again, NSFAS, it covers your tuition, covers accommodation, it covers your books, your meals. You're not going to go to class hungry. And it also covers your transport. So please, if you haven't applied, don't waste time. Get going. Thank you, Angie.
So currently you can apply for NSFAS funding if you meet the criteria, but also you can find funding opportunities on gostudy.net and zabursaries.co.za. All right, moving on to Matric results. Once this has been released, what can students expect? When will they receive confirmation on their final acceptance, and are they expected to do anything at that point?
Thank you for that question, Angelique. So yes, we normally receive the Matric results in the following year during the month of January. And once we received all of those results, we would do a quality assurance on the data itself. And that data will then be pushed into our IT system as such. Thereafter, all of our applicants that are successful will receive an offer. Now this year we are moving into a process where we are implementing our new system with a few new processes as well. And the new process essentially will be that once the applicant receives an offer, they have 3 days to accept that offer on our applicant portal. So it's very important then also for our applicants to visit those applicant portals regularly, just to see, when that offer comes through, and then obviously to accept or decline the offer as such.
Perfect. So as soon as the NSC and IEB results are released, we will receive it, upload it to the system, and then it's up to you to make sure that you check the status of your application. All right, and when is university expected to start with the classes?
So look, we were in the process of finalizing all of the dates, and luckily I can share this with you now, it has been approved. So we are looking at the start of the classes for the 2022 academic year will actually be on the 14th of February. Yes, it's also important to note that the date has been moved because we are only receiving the official Matric results on the 21st of January.
Okay, so that is the 14th of February.
There you go.
Excellent. Great. So moving on to the welcoming program. Now, the welcoming program takes place every year for the first years. So what exactly is the value of the welcoming program?
The Welcoming Program is a very exciting program that is mixed between social activities and academic activities, mainly for the first years, otherwise known as the newcomers. For 2021, it was mostly online, unfortunately, due to COVID, but depending on the situation for next year and regulations, it might just be in person for 2022, we're hoping. The value of the Welcoming Program really is to try and make the students feel very comfortable in the space, to make them know the space of Stellenbosch, and it's separated as well with the faculty welcoming programs and as well as the community welcoming programs. So it really is focused on trying to make the students become comfortable in the space, both with faculties and with the community and Stellenbosch as a whole. And it really is just focused on having a fun time and making everyone feel at home in Stellenbosch.
Excellent. So if you want to make sure that you are properly introduced to all facets of the university so that you can be more comfortable to find your way, make sure that you do not miss out on the welcoming program. In terms of classes, we know that with the hybrid learning model, we've had online classes, but can students expect to have face-to-face classes in 2022?
So yes, look, to be honest with you, the environment is still very volatile, and we are closely monitoring the COVID pandemic and obviously the effects thereof. But we would definitely want all of our students back on campus to create this vibrant atmosphere. We will, however, communicate all of these information to the applicants and to the returning students in due course as well.
Okay, perfect. All right, Sinetemba, you are currently a law student who has managed to successfully navigate up until your 4th year. And we would like to know, were there any bumps along the road? And what would your advice be to our future Matis on handling disappointment that they might encounter?
I believe life is full of those bumps, and academics is no exception to that. There have been plenty bumps on the road, many times where I doubted my capabilities. High school marks are very different to university marks, and I think the students will come to know that very soon. I think it's very important as a student to really rely on that support system that you have, your friends, your family, the friends that you make in the faculty as well, including the lecturers, and to really just believe in yourself and to keep going. Being upset over one module is not going to be the end of that university experience. Really keep pushing, rely on your support, and believe in yourself more than before, and just keep pushing forward.
Yes, absolutely. That is beautiful advice. And Philip, you are also a law student currently completing your BAc LLB, which is considered one of the more challenging programs, and yet you're managing to do this with an excellent academic record. What is your recipe for success?
If I can share some of the tips that I've definitely applied myself in my studies, the first would definitely be to utilize your lecturers. They really are keen to assist you. So when the work starts getting a bit confusing, unclear, or just too much, just go to your lecturer, schedule an appointment, talk to them after class. They really want to help you. Secondly, it would be don't fall behind. It's especially in a hybrid teaching environment, or even just with the substantial increase in workload from high school to university, it is easy to fall into that trap. So don't fall behind, stay up to date with your work, and just do your work on time. And then finally, it would be, we are here to study academically, but you will get burnt out if you don't look after yourself. So it's really important for you to take care of your whole well-being. That includes your social well-being, managing that with your physical well-being, your academic well-being, and just ensuring that you are actually able to complete your degree.
So it's clear to me that it is very important to make sure that you make use of the support that is available to you at the university and maintain a healthy balance. Thank you, Philip and Sinetemba. All right, now we also know that the matriculants are probably really looking forward to that 2-month holiday after their final examinations. But is there anything that they can do to be more prepared going into the academic year next year?
Okay, we invite our students to complete an online onboarding program before they come to campus. And then this program is going to prepare them for the transition from high school to university. We all know that there's a huge gap between high school and university. There are a lot of differences. For example, one of them, when you are in high school, if you get into trouble, we call the parents. When you get to university, when you get into trouble, we deal with you. We don't deal with your parents. It's just one of the examples. Some of the differences between high school and university. So there's a huge gap. So now at the university, we're going to have we have Sunlen. So students are going to be introduced to Sunlen, which is the university's online learning management system. Then with this program, you can always listen to videos of our current students, our beautiful Matis, who are sharing their beautiful stories, like the two that you just listened to. And then also, you can also view our beautiful campus, the videos, the photos, and can also get like a map of the campus. Yeah. Also, I'm sure you've got some questions and answers. So this will give you an opportunity to get answers to those beautiful questions that you might have. Then again, if you go on Sunland, you can also develop some academic skills that you need. Last but not least, you can get an opportunity to get to connect with mentors and student communities.
Thank you, Bongi. So if you want to make sure that you are prepared for next year, you can make sure to join the welcoming program and connect with the online onboarding program. Lastly, Philip, we know that being a Mati is more than just about academics. What are some of the opportunities that our future Matis can look forward to?
Yes, so Stellenbosch University really provides ample opportunities to develop yourself in different facets. This includes sports, culture, interests and hobbies, leadership, and even professional skills that you can develop. With regards to sport, Mati Sport has more than 30 professional clubs, which range from your general sports like netball and rugby to even ultimate frisbee, fencing and esports. There's even a lot more than that you can practice recreationally through the residence leagues or even with societies. Culturally, obviously, we have our award-winning issue choir and then other opportunities for competitions and exhibitions such as issue a cappella, Daniel Fierce debating, photography competition, and the list just goes on. Our societies are actually quite an interesting part of our student experience. They provide a structure whereby students of similar interests can come together and practice different types of sports, interests or hobbies. It's an opportunity where you can find people with the same interests as you, where you can make friends, we can have fun and even just develop skills. Some of our interesting societies include things like our Wine Appreciation Society, Eco Marties, the Mountain Climbing Society, and numerous more. And then finally, our campus really provides different opportunities for you to develop your leadership skills. Whether it be in residence, PSO, faculty, or even just larger campus, the opportunities are there to develop yourself and serve your other students while you are doing that. I would just really encourage all future Matis to really take part in these different activities in your first year. Who knows, maybe you'll find some interest that you never thought you'd have.
Perfect. Thank you all so much for taking the time to answer all of our questions. If some of your questions were not answered related to these topics or anything else, feel free to get in touch with us at the Centre for Student Recruitment by sending an email to matis@sun.ac.za, and we're looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you to Angelique and the panel. What a privilege to have such amazing ambassadors. Before we conclude with the program, we want to give Nadine Moody, alumni of Stellenbosch University and the youngest co-opted member of the Stellenbosch University Council, the opportunity to share her story with you.
So first of all, I'm immensely humbled by the opportunity, and I believe it's a God-given opportunity to me. But at the same time, it's a huge honor, because I feel like, when I was a student, there were people that were trying to make the institution better, set us on a great strategic path. And now I have the opportunity to be able to do that at such a young age, where I can contribute, whether it's financially, whether it's through my time, whether it's through my talent, and also build back into an institution that gave me so much, and then set my career basically on a path to where I am now and where I will still go. So I'm really, really humbled and grateful for that opportunity. A university degree proves two things. One, that you've got a discipline to be able to sit down, take exams, pass your tests, all of those kinds of things. And the second thing is that it opens doors for you to be able to get interviews with various organizations. But then the third thing is it's up to you. Work ethic, character, all of those things are immensely important, and those things are sustainable. Those are the things that are going to be able to help you keep your job. It's going to help you contribute, because your degree only means that you've got a discipline. Character is way more important than that. Personally, for me, because Stellenbosch has got a global appeal, we've got alumni from Toronto all the way to Tokyo. And so people recognize the certificate when I show it to them, because they can resonate with it. They're either alums or they know about the university. In my work that I do, research is a big part of it. And because Stellenbosch is a big research institution, I know how to apply those principles in my work and to be able to contribute to the teams and to the organizations that I get to work for. And so, in summarizing all of this, the university's got a global appeal, but it also teaches us discipline. But the work ethic is up to us. So to my 18-year-old self, sitting in Matric right now, preparing for my final exams, and then also waiting to hear from the university about what degree I got in for, I would say, be open-minded. Work hard to get in for your first choice, but if your second choice comes, take that. You don't know what doors it could open. You don't know where life can take you. At the same time, I also want to, encourage our matrics. Take care of yourself. Your mental health is extremely important. We're still in a global pandemic. You guys have been so resilient. This is the last stretch now. Exercise, try and eat the right food, and, try and be a good person while still doing all of these things. Then once you get to university, it comes with a lot of good freedoms and a lot of bad freedoms as well. And so to those of you who've come from, good homes, try and replicate that environment at university as well. The values that your parents have instilled in you, keep those things, maintain it. The world needs people like you. To those of you who weren't as fortunate to come from, as stable homes, all of that, this is an opportunity for you to reinvent yourself, to be the best version of yourself and who you want to be. Because we need good people, we need leaders, and we need people who will be able to contribute to our society. I can't wait to get to Stellenbosch in the next coming months or even in next year, and to see all of you walking up and down Victoria Street there, enjoying, the freedoms of the university and everything that it has to offer. So for now, all the best for the last stretch ahead, and I look forward to seeing you down in Stellenbosch next year.
We have come to the end of our general program and hope that you have enjoyed your time with us as much as we have enjoyed creating it for you. Please stretch your legs, get a cup of fresh coffee, and from 7 p.m. your faculty presentations will be live. You can view this by following the link you received via email or from the list in the descriptions below. 2022 will be a year of new beginnings for the university as a new corporate identity will be introduced. We look forward to welcoming you to campus as we journey with you. Forward together, sonke siya phambili, sam forentu.
Before language became mind, we invented signs to navigate our journey through the world. Signs stood in places where we demarked the presence of our passing. We gathered, foraged, and hunted signs of life through first days into the morrow of new horizons ever since the dawn of humankind. We are familiarized by language and gesture until we understand and can be understood by our immediate family, our peers, and our teachers. By this, we learn to adapt and predict. We find our way in the world. We find our shared goals through language and symbols. We move into ever larger contexts as we grow. The learning process expands to internalize new worlds. As learners, we continuously begin anew. As we are transformed by the rhythms of learning, we become adept and accomplished. Our need for knowing consolidates, refines, and expands our ability to create new meanings for an emerging reality. We become self-aware. Here is the leap into adult life and into the world of endless possibilities. We make our mark memorable, vital, and perpetual. We strive to reconcile our achievement with the enabling legacy of those who preceded us in service of those who succeeded in our tracks. Stellenbosch University, Universiteit.
Forward together.
Sonke siya phambili.
Sam vorentoe.